Hello, hello, hello. Hello again, my audience. This time, I got a different video in mind, okay? This is Black Man's thoughts about big stuff, but mostly in the direction of spirituality and human potential and what humanity is, or what it used to be and its potential, right? And what it currently is. So, and the only reason I got up into this topic is because I practice spirituality, right? I do a lot of meditation. I have tuning forks. I eat specific diets. I regularly do intermittent fasting, and I participate in these practices because I learned them from spirituality, and I learned that they are good for my body to do. It's something that everyone should do. To be honest, if you want to live healthy, live long, keep the collagen and the elastins in your skin working for longer periods of time, so you don't wrinkle up so fast. Keep your stress low. Keep your organs healthy. Keep your mind right and your emotional state right. It's good to get into many practices that are shown to us in spirituality. Uh, but with that being said, let me get on topic. So I only got this subject got reinvigorated in my mind because I was re-watching Avatar series. I know some people out there feel me right now already smiling just like me because the Avatar series, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the blue people are cool too. James Cameron, that shit is awesome. But I'm talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender right now, okay? I firmly believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that something about Avatar in The Last Airbender is holding some kind of nugget of knowledge to the prelude of what humanity was. You know why I say this? Let me give some elaboration. For these reasons, okay? They use reference to all kinds of real life spiritual things like chakras and prana, whatever name you want to use. Prana, chakra, ki, kai, whatever. It's all the same thing. It's abundant life energy that's just everywhere, that already exists in you and that exists in the universe and exists around us, ambiently. It's just in the air, it's just everywhere. And it flows through you. Prana is what keeps this energy is what keeps bodies alive. That is what animates you. It's not oxygen. Okay? You breathe oxygen and that's cool. But oxygen is just part of the biological sense. But you're not just a purely biological being, are you? No. There's more to humans than just biology. There's very much what's important is the core of the human being, which is the soul and the spirituality. Whether you harness it or understand it or not, that is what animates you. Because you can put a human being together. You can put an organism together right now, almost, that is superior to a human being, and it does not have the same quality of life as a human. They're called AIs, right? They're basically made out of, at least physically, more substantial material than we are. But they will never be like us because they're not connected to the prana. They don't have the life force. They don't have the spirit. They don't have the energy. They're purely artificial. And that is what every life form is that is not connected to the universe. If it's not connected to the universe and the flow of energy, it's an artificial being. It's not true sentient life. And that's going to be everything that a man attempts to create because we don't know. We do not have control and we do not understand the universe to be bestowing or directing life energy into new beings. We can't do that shit. So everything we make is just going to be a facsimile of a human. It's going to be some physical components, and that's going to be an intelligence, and that's going to be about it, right? I believe that Avatar possesses some knowledge or some inkling as to what the prelude of humanity that we know in modern history is because of its chakra connections and because of some things I've studied in spirituality in today's world. Now, I can't really name names. I always get bad with the names because I memorize too much shit. I need to start writing names down, and I will. But right now, I'm just going to continue my flow here. I've been studying spirituality for a long time because I've been on a quest as to understand myself. And in doing that, also check that out in the background. That's a Japanese shit. I'm bad with names. It's a Japanese cultural practice that they do, and they weave those pieces of yarn or various materials into spirals like that to ward off negative energy and bad spirits. Okay, I bought one and I put it right there. I forgot the name. I think it starts with SH. I forgot. It's a long name too. It's a big word, and I can't grasp it right now. But it's in the background, so I pointed it out so you could know what that is. Like, what is that? That's what it is. Anyway, the chakra systems and spirituality. So I study spirituality from various perspectives. See, this is another freedom as not being attached to no religions. I get to explore things unbiasedly and wholeheartedly dive into various forms of study when it comes to alternative sources of information, whether it's spirituality or another religion or whatever, or another culture or whatever. I have no strings attached to me, so when I go and I try to involve myself in something else, I can get all the way in there, right? So I've done that with Hinduism, I've done that with Gnosticism, I've done that with Christianity, I've done that with atheism, I've done that with what's it called? Another branch of Christianity, Baptist Christians. I've done that with Buddhism, or to a degree, Buddhism, like Shaolin monks, just a little bit, because I have never been to no temple, so only the stuff that I can gather from learning on the internet. So that's the least amount of, I have the least amount of knowing in that area as far as Buddhism and that stuff. But I've seen, and I've studied other people who've done the legwork that I cannot do, right? So they travel to places, they got money. They can travel, they can document, they got camera crews, and I study them and I read them and I listen to them. And I listen to all kinds of different perspectives because I'm looking for answers, right? I like the truth. I love the truth. I love the truth. The truth is the engine, okay? If spirituality is the infinite source, it needs to flow into an engine to power our reality. That engine and the shit that goes on in this reality is powered by the engine. That is the truth and logic. Period. No fucking discussions, no fucking debates about it. Without truth and logic functioning in this world, we are all fucked. Okay, so I firmly believe in the power of the truth, and I love the truth even when it's working against me. And usually if it's working against me, it's because I'm doing something wrong, so I can't even be mad at the truth because I done fucked up not being aligned with the truth in the first place. But anyway, the avatar and the chakra systems and the spirituality being mixed together and giving this kind of connection between that fantasy world and our real world, it led me to do more research into spirituality more so specifically. And I found out that there are a lot of different practices that go on and have gone on in spirituality. And I found one that links almost directly to some shit you would see in Avatar. It has to do with mastering the prana, which is the life force, the chi. You have to master it, and you have to be able to channel it directly and consciously into your lower dantian. Is that what it's called? The lower dantian, which is like the solar plexus energy, right? Like in your belly area. And when you master that flow and you breathe in and you bring the prana in and you push the negative energy out and you make the circulation of energy, some people, the people who probably be meditating like fucking 50 hours a week, I don't know, they in it, they really in it. They have learned to control their body temperature, right? So they can sit in places that are cold. So if you went in that room or in that ice box or in that walk-in cooler or walk-in freezer or wherever it's cold, you will start feeling cold pretty quickly. If they went in there, they would not. And if they sat down and they started meditating, they would be cool. They would, I'm cool as in not cold, cool as in unbothered by the cold inside a cold area for extended periods of time. That's a level of physical control, right? That's borderline. That's like a low level. That's like a tier 1 superpower. That's like a level 1 superpower, right? When you think of superpowers, you think of fantastical shit like blowing up shit and flying and shit. But there are smaller things that could be considered superpowers that we can emulate or get close to in the real world. There are some genetic anomalies. You can be born with certain genetic traits that are basically superpowers, like having denser bones to where getting hit with a hammer or some shit would not break your bones and have you concussed. That's a minor superpower. You can't survive like, like a whole lot of stuff. Like if something like a big truck that was like thousands of pounds hit you, you still gonna take some damage. But you are more durable than the average human. So what's that? That's more than average. That's above average. It's not super, but it's above average. So it's a level 1 superpower, right? There are some people who can see more colors because of how they're born. There are some people who can hear better. Daredevil. Street level, street tier powers exist in our world, but it just takes a whole lot of effort to get to them. And one of those is in spirituality and has to do with controlling body heat. There is a man, and you've probably seen these videos because they're old and they have circulated in spiritual communities for a long time and been posted by people who are part of spiritual communities for a long time. And there's a Japanese man, I believe, and he has the ability to control his flow of energy so well that if he had a dry piece of paper, right? So I'm just grab this random piece of paper. He get a dry piece of paper like this, crumble that bitch up, and focus his energy into the paper, and it will start smoking, and then it will catch fire in his hand. He's done it like a bunch of times. He's done it on camera. He's done it in front of people. He's done it in enclosed areas where there's no tricks. Nothing can be pulled off. It's camera teams and shit in here. He can't pull nothing off. And he's done it consistently every time. What is that, y'all? If you had to draw a comparison, if you had to draw a similarity between that and some shit that's in Avatar, what would you compare that to? Firebending. No? First of all, prana and that whole thing is controlling your inner heat. The fire within. That's what the prana is. The fire within is in your solar plexus, in your lower dantian. That's your fire within. He channeled that energy and compressed it on a piece of paper and set the paper ablaze. Now, he didn't shoot no big ass waves of fire, but that's still a remarkable feat. Can you do that shit? No. Most people can't do no shit like that, right? But I saw that. And when I saw that, and I was like, wait, hold the phone. This nigga just set something on fire with the palm of his hand. And he had niggas watching him. He had people everywhere. Like, people come and they test things, or especially after you go viral. He did it the first time. Some people saw it and they was like, that's not real. And then they was like, you know what? I need to see this for myself. These people have resources. They got a film crew together. They went, found his ass, and was like, okay, we're going to do this one more time. This time, I'm here. I'm touching you. I'm checking your clothes. Let me see that piece of paper. Ain't nothing in that piece of paper. Camera, get it done. Do the same shit. Do it again. And he did it again. And then another time, he had a woman feel his inner fire through his stomach. She was like, how are you doing this? And he explained it. I control my inner fire. I control my lower dantian. It's flowing in here. I can heat this up. Here, put your hand on my stomach. She put her hand on his stomach and said, ah. Like that. Like she got a surprise. I don't know how hot it was, but it was hot enough to surprise her ass. Most things is not that hot on the human body. It's not nothing too hot that that generates normally where you have a reaction to the heat. That shit is not normal. So even if she didn't get her hand burned or whatever, the point is he's still performing miraculous feats that are beyond normal shits by mastering what? His chakras, his prana, his life energy. What's in the Avatar? The Avatar Last Airbender series. Prana, chakra, energy. The flow of energy in the whole world through the spirit realm, from the koi fish, the yin and yang fish that represent balance, the moon and the sun, the comet that passes by. All of this is energy flow. It's energy flowing everywhere and passing through everybody from all these sources. And because of this maintained architecture, this spiritual, universal architecture of energy flow and maintenance, human beings can use their chakras to tap into elemental forces. That is Avatar The Last Airbender. In fact, the story begins with a guy named Win or Wan. He was just a regular guy. He didn't have no bending powers, right? So he just lived in a regular world. It was no bending powers going on. Nobody could bend nothing. Well, actually, some people could, but not. It wasn't normal. The people who did it were spiritually enlightened. They took the initiative to go do that. But most people did not have that ability. They just kind of lived normal lives. At this time, in his time period, in his world, spirits could be witnessed physically. So they had vestigial corporeal forms. You could see some weird shit in the forest that was not just a normal animal or whatever, right? In the little story of the Avatar. I'm talking about Avatar stories right now. This is lore knowledge about Avatar. The first Avatar was a man named Wan, or Wan, however you want to say it, W-A-N, and he was a normal person, and he was going with some men who were bad, who were negative, charged with negative energy. They were bad people, and they wanted to go into the forest and find some of these vestigial / corporeal spiritual beings and hunt them and kill them. He was like, I'll go with you, because he was a bandit at the time. He was a vagrant. He was a vagabond. He didn't have no money. He kind of was just stealing. He was just like living life in a very carefree but also criminal way. Basically a criminal, a thug, a thief. And he was like, so I'll join you in your quest. Maybe I'll get some kind of money off of this. I'll get something out of this. They invited him, but when they went into the forest and they started doing this shit, he felt wrong. He was like, no, I'm not gonna let y'all do this. I'm not helping y'all. They was like, I knew you was a bitch. I knew we shouldn't have brought you. And they tried to turn on him. The spirits came and they helped him. They helped him fight them off because he changed around. Then he got injured and they healed him and restored him. And he was like, and after this, he basically went on a journey to understand spirituality. And then he met these two forces. I forgot their fucking names, but they look like two big ass kites. One is black and red and evil. One is white and blue and good. Even though that coloration, we can talk about the source of why colors are perceived that way, but we're not going to do that right now. Okay? We're just going to focus on the story. The big ass kites represented basically majority, if not all, of the manifestation of the good energy and the bad energy into two separate but also intertwined beings, right? They're always fighting each other, constantly at war, and eventually one of them will die, which will usher in an age of peace, 10,000 years of dominance of that, whichever one that wins. So if the bad one wins, it's going to be 10,000 years of bad shit going on. Whatever world previously existed is going to get completely fucking destroyed because it was the world of the good energy, and the bad energy hates her ass, so he wants to wipe away all that shit that she did, so by the time they fight again, if she wins, she got to start all over again and make the world better again. And if she want to keep it that way, she has to keep consistently winning. The only way that they consistently can win is if the world reflects back what they're doing. So if the good guy wins, if the female, she's a female guy, female voice, if the good kite, the good energy wins, if the world maintains balance and is mostly good people, she will be stronger. So by the time it comes for round 2 to see who's going to get the 10,000 years, she can beat him because the world she's in synergy with the world and with all the individual beings in the world, right? Same thing goes for the bad guys, right? So in the Avatar, he split them up. This was an accident that he did because the evil one fooled him and said, oh, help me, she's attacking me. And she didn't say shit. I don't know why she didn't say nothing. That shit was annoying. But either way, he split their connection up. They was connected at the hip like this, where they was just constantly fighting and wrapping around each other because they was connected like this. He had fire bending. He learned it from one of the spirits, the greater spirits, the lion turtles, right? They gave him fire bending so he could attack the spirits. I don't know why that happened exactly, but hey. So he got the fire. He split the connection. The bad guy was like, oh, I'm free, thank you so much. And then he ran away and started doing evil shit. The good one, the female, she was like, why would you do that? Like, that nigga was not good. You just got played. He about to go make the world bad. He about to start fucking some shit up right now. So he just got free. He don't get tired. He don't need to rest. He about to go make some shit bad happen right now, and it's all your fault. He was like, fuck. I'm sorry. I didn't know. He told me this, and I didn't know. Let me make it right. Let me help you stop him. They go on the journey to do that. She's telling him he is not powerful enough. He's understanding he's not powerful enough to do this alone. He gets a bright idea. He's like, let me find some more lion turtles. Maybe they can give me the blessings to manipulate more elements. They touch his chakras. Every time they give him an element, they touch right here and they touch right here. They have big ass claws, like they're giant creatures. So when they big ass fingers come, and they being very delicate, they have some very fine control over their big ass fingers. These two big ass spikes, like the size of my fucking bed, two big ass nails from their finger, at the very tip, touch him in his third eye chakra and in his heart chakra. Every time. It doesn't matter what turtle it is or what element it is. They both touch right there, and they penetrate into them, new access to manipulate new elements. So every time he does that, he gets a new element. She's with him now, and she's letting him know that she has to hold the elements for him because a human body can't contain all that, right? So she's helping him master the elements one at a time. As he masters the previous one, then he gets a new one, and they move gradually until it becomes a problem where they basically run out of time. And he has to master them elements now because the evil nigga's already started stuff, and he's about to fight her right now. Like he's ready for the rematch, and he's been getting bigger and stronger this whole time because he's been unleashing evil in the world, and now there's all this chaos, and human beings are fighting against spirits indiscriminately, attacking spirits, even the good ones, which makes them angry, which then the bad nigga gives them energy and they become evil spirits, and now it's chaos everywhere, and the people aren't getting along as well. So people not getting along, people and spirits not getting along, chaos, horrible. So she's shrinking, she's visibly getting smaller and weaker in comparison to what she used to be, which was a big kite like him. They were two big ass flowing kite like creatures. Now she's like this big, she can fit in a tea kettle. She's puny, right? And it's time for the rematch. He's ready for the rematch because he's a bitch. So after he went and got all his advantages and juiced himself up while she was unable to do that, he's like, okay, now let's run it back because now I have the advantage. And she's like, I can't win, but I gotta fight. And he's like, no, this is unfair, this is some bullshit. How about I'm gonna help you fight him? He couldn't do it, obviously. He put up a little resistance, but he couldn't fight the big ass spiritual creature. And the motherfucker was shooting like these fucking beams. It was making this noise like he was shooting these big ass dark beams from his little eyeball in the center of this little triangle he had. He was fucking him up. Then he was like, I got a plan. Since you're so small and we're in the spirit realm, because this battle takes place in the spirit realm, combine with me so we can beat his ass in the spirit realm. It worked. That is where the avatar state was born. It is a person combining with the higher energy of the universe that represents all the goodness, which in real life we have. What are the highest frequencies in the universe? Love, authenticity. These are the highest frequencies in the universe. That is what she represented. Good shit. Good. Love. Love was the primary thing. All the humans need to get along. We need to get along, get right, be good, be right to each other and to yourselves. That's love, okay? That's love. All love is not just romantic kissing and smooching and fucking. It's various degrees to love, and that is a big holistic version of love that can apply to everybody. That is what she represented. Just like in the real world, that is what helps humanity. Whenever we start doing stupid shit and we start warring and we start talking about, oh, he's black and he's white, or he's green and he's purple, or his flag looks like this and his flag looks like that, and then we start going and get experiences that are attached to these different separations. So now the conviction to fight other people who are different than you are stronger because now you have all these experiences in these little separate existences and separate experiences that you've focused on with your life, right? So instead of trying to find a nuanced area or trying to be cool or trying to be learning about other people, you go into a little bubble. You function in a bubble with a confined and customized experience to where your perspective is tainted, is corrupted or tainted or heavily influenced by what you've gone through in this bubble. So by the time you come out and try to interact with other people in the world who are complete strangers to you, It usually doesn't go well, especially since what's in that bubble, all that shit's going on is bad. So in the bubble, they probably told you, oh, those people over there are different from us. They're trying to do some other shit because they think they're better than us, or because they're evil. They're doing something they shouldn't be doing. We're doing it right, right? So by the time you go over there and interact with them, you like, y'all the bad guys. Y'all fucking up. I have the right of way. I know the right way. Do what I say. Then they have their own experiences, and they gonna say the same thing to you, or they gonna say, no, fuck you, nigga. I've been doing this my whole life. This is what I do. I don't know what the fuck you on about, but I don't care because I don't even know, like, what are you? Why do you look like that? I don't even know who you are or what you are. I'm not taking no information and no instructions from your ass at all. Then it's like, then now it's wartime. This is a problem. This is the dark kite work. This is the dark kite's energy at work. Confusion, confliction, no love, war, evil, the devil. Just say the devil. It's the devil. It's the bad stuff. Okay? In the real world, what we got going on? Let me ask you something. If the kite came into this real world, how would you think, the bad one, how would you think it would want the world to look?